The reason why you can't make progress, you feel kind of sluggish, tired, you're not in control of your own body, is because your body craves dopamine. Dopamine is a chemical. You've probably heard a lot about it, but it's a kind of like a chemical hormone thing in your brain that is linked with a reward, right? So, for example, you're a caveman, 2,000, whatever, 10,000, 15,000 years ago, and you've been hungry all day, right? And you see this nice, like, deer, right? And you have whatever, your spear, you're ready to go hunt it with your boys, but this is deer, right? And you kill it, and as it's cooking, right? As the deer is cooking, your dopamine's going up, right? This kind of like pleasure feeling is coming up. Your body eat a good, hot, nice meal, right? So the dopamine doesn't come when you do the action, it's when you're about to do the action, right? So dopamine is a good thing, right? It's not like a bad thing. If you didn't have dopamine, nothing would be pleasurable. You'd just be like a little robot or something, right? However, this modern day has hijacked what dopamine actually should be used for. Back then, whatever, 100, 200, whatever, 50 years ago, dopamine would be kind of like a reward for your hard work, right? Say there's an apple tree or something, apple's like full of sugar and whatnot, right? You'd climb the tree, do the hard work, and you eat the apple, you reap the benefit, correct? Or let's say, um, uh, whatever example there is, you had to have done some hard work. Let's say, I don't know, you'd have to like whatever attracted the girl, and whatever, like seduce her, and then you could, whatever, like enjoy the reward, right? However, nowadays with stuff like this, right, like chocolates and whatnot, you don't have to do any work, right? You just go to the supermarket, buy. You go to porn, you jerk off, and right, you get dopamine from there. Go on your phone, you scroll. So we're getting dopamine for no hard work, right? I can just open this right now, eat it, and that's it. I got my dopamine, and then I feel worse at the end, right? So our body is hooked onto pleasure. We want pleasure a lot. Again, why? Because very easily, like ready, right? Now the problem is, if you don't do the hard work, your body, if you don't like, if dopamine isn't correlated with hard work, right? So if you don't do the hard work, you don't get the dopamine, and you could just get pleasure from whatever. Your brain doesn't want to work hard, right? Like you could think of a primal brain. It wouldn't want to work hard if I could just get the pleasure, right? Our brain isn't like, just wants the path of least resistance, right? It's like water. You put water and it just goes down whatever the path of least resistance is. That's our brain. It just wants the easiest option. And the easiest option typically isn't good for us, right? Drinking alcohol, going to the club, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Usually, that's not good for you. Mess up your sleep, does X, Y, Z. It's not good for you. Going to McDonald's fucks up your health, fucks up your, body, your sleep, everything. Not good for you. But these things give us pleasure. So, our brain is addicted to dopamine and pleasure. How do I get rid of this addiction, right? Because I feel like the main misconception is you aren't addicted to candy, right? You're not addicted to going on your phone. You're addicted to dopamine, right? Your brain wants dopamine, right? For example, let's say you eat like, whatever, you're trying to lose weight, and you eat your maintenance calories or even above your maintenance calories of healthy food. You're still craving food, right? You're still craving sweets, right? Your body has the energy it needs, and if you eat more, has more than it needs, right? So you shouldn't feel hungry at all, but you still do, right? Why? It's because of dopamine, the sugar that, the dopamine you get from sugar, right? Or whatever. So we understand that we're addicted to dopamine, not food, or we're addicted to whatever, going on our phone and not, like, we're addicted to dopamine and not going on our phone. Does that make sense? So we've cleared that up. Now, how do we get rid of this addiction, right? That is hard. That's the whole game. A dopamine detox is the whole way on how to get rid of these bad habits. And it is hard, but you need consistency, but it's not hard. So how would you start? Let's say these things, right? If we look here, this is blood orange and peach flavor, right? And this is pomegranate flavor, right? So this is supposed to emulate like fruits and whatnot. Now, if you just eat these, right? Whenever your brain craves them, you just eat them, right? You give your brain the dopamine that that it wants right away, right? Which will be like, okay, yeah, so I can get whatever I want, so let me just keep asking for dopamine, I'll just get it, right? So what you should do is make it hard for you to get the dopamine like what it was before, right? These are yummy chocolates, whatever, right? Make it as if kind of you have to do hard work and then you could do this benefit, right? Rather than you just do the benefit whenever you want. So this will wire your brain to kind of think like, okay, I have to do the hard work before I can enjoy that, right? But then eventually you get this kind of idea, and then eventually you replace these chocolates with the healthier thing. Again, this one is orange and peach flavored. Whatever, for the first month, you whatever, try to work hard and then you could enjoy this, right? The second month, you kind of dial it down to something with less sugar, let's say, right? Whatever, you keep going, you progressively deload. Then after a while, what you do is you do the hard work, and then you eventually eat like, whatever, your reward would be like an orange or a peach or whatever the flavor of this was, right? Or let's say you want to quit like porn, let's say, right? You progressively deload. You don't just start in and whatever, like, I'm just gonna quit cold turkey. You don't do that. You watch less stimulating things. You go to photos, then you go to imagination, and then by that point, it's not even a problem, right? Or let's say your phone, right? You delete Instagram, so now you're whatever on YouTube, right? Watching long form content, and then eventually, you're only watching whatever documentaries. You go to like less stimulating stuff, and you only watch documentaries, and by that point, it's not even a problem, right? So you have to progressively deload, right? And how to make this the least discipline consuming, willpower consuming thing is you create like a chart, like a calendar, right? And you set yourself a goal for the month. So let's say in October is like your guiding test month. You eat junk food like whatever 30 times, right? Now in November, aim the goal to be 27. Then December, 24, and so on and so forth. And by the end of the year, the habit should be already quit, right? So if you follow all these steps and you do these mindset things that I'm doing right now, I'm not, above you guys or nothing. I have problems. I'm trying to get rid of them. Junk food is one of them. I'm going on my phone. So I'm trying to, deload on these things, right? And eventually, by the end of the year, in 2, 3, 4, whatever years it takes, couple months, it doesn't matter. The habits will become so little, and you wouldn't want dopamine as much, to a point where it's not a problem, and you can now focus on the good habits. So yeah, see you in the next one.